My name is Katja Hansel. Hello, everybody. Can you see me? Can you
Hello,
wave?
Demo.
Hello? Okay, yes? Okay. Now, I wanted to ask you to, whoever has not actually muted their microphone, please do so. Otherwise, we're going to hear a lot of background noise. And I also wanted to kindly ask you to turn on your camera, if you will, if you may. I don't know, unless you're working out or something. So if you are actually here with us, hello. Hi. Okay, there should be about 80, 85 people coming today, and we counted about people from around 22 countries, basically. So I wanted to welcome everyone, welcome, and thank you for taking the time to listen to me. Now, welcome to the new normal for guides, tour managers, and travel agents. We live in a difficult time, and that's why I have actually decided to, yeah, kind of organize this webinar, this conference on how to survive and strive economically in 2020. And the reason why I've been organizing these, we actually had another one last week with about 95 people from 22 countries as well, is because I would like to give everyone a little bit of clarity, because we get so much information, you know, all over the place. We're all over the place, and we don't really know what's going on. Now, let me introduce myself first of all, and in the meantime, maybe you guys can also type into the chat where you're connecting from, because I know we have people from Cuba, from Malta, from India, from Australia. Well, from Australia, I don't think those people will be connecting today. We're probably going to send them the recording because it's 3 in the morning there. But we do have some people from the US and from Brazil and from a lot of different countries. So let me see. Wow, France, bonjour, bonsoir. San Francisco, Amul, Philippines, from Alison from Bath, wow, Ravenna, from Kenya, Malta, Brazil, Syracuse, Modena, Rome, wow. I'm very, very excited about this more or less hour that we're going to spend together. And what I will do is I will actually run through the slides fairly quickly, because then I would also like to tell you about what options tour guides these days have and what we could possibly do to make some money. And the third thing that we're going to be doing is I'm going to have some of you be online and talk. Whoever would like to contribute and talk. This was really, really fun last week. And so you can actually all participate actively, okay? So now my name is Katja Hansel, as I said, now for the people who are connecting. And I have been a guide for over 20 years. I have been a tour manager for like 30. I'm an entrepreneur because I own 2 travel agencies in Ireland and Dublin, and also in Rome, and also a cooking school in Rome. So I am just like you. I'm in the very same boat. I had to lay off most of my personnel, and it's been a really, really difficult ride for all of us. So I know exactly the pain everyone has been going through. And that's the reason why we're here. You know, together we're strong, and we can actually do things together. So by the way, I'm not only a tour guide / entrepreneur and owner of travel agencies, I also have become, like a few years ago, I became a coach, a business coach, and a motivational trainer. And that's also why I've created my own courses. I've been training guides over the past few years, and we do charismatic communication and all kinds of other courses, emotional intelligence, and so on. So that's the reason why I put the guiding and the coaching together. So that's where I come from, and I'm very, very excited to be here today with you. So we now are going to look at some of the slides, and I would like to kind of talk about the situation that we're all in, especially the ones of us who work with Americans, Australians, Canadians, people from the UK, people who work with the English-speaking crowd, basically. Okay, so hold on one sec. Whoever is connecting now, please type into the chat where you're connecting from, so we know where you're coming from. Thank you. Okay, so the world of tourism and 2020 and 2021. The reason why I actually say 2021 is because um, many say that tourism will actually be back in 2021. So what is the new normal exactly? Hmm? Okay. Okay, here we go. So European travel restrictions. Once again, I will be running through this fairly quickly so that we will actually at the end have lots of time to talk and to chat and to exchange views and opinions and so on, okay? So thing is, UK, Spain, Switzerland, Sweden, France, are all in Europe, and pretty much everyone now has still like quarantines and things like that. So in the UK, there's still a 14-day quarantine from June 8th to all who enter from abroad. Uh, Britons, I apologize, this is written the wrong way, arriving from France and Spain are required to go into quarantine for 40 days. Spain, 14-day required quarantine for foreign arrivals until July. Then we have Switzerland, opens only to Germans, Austria, and Germany, Austria, and France. All travel restrictions at the border with Italy will remain in place until further notice. Then Sweden, only residents of the EU and the European Economic Area countries are allowed. France, same thing, more or less. Passengers arriving from a non-Schengen member state are not allowed to enter France. So only French nationals and residents may enter. Russia, June 8th, partially reopened its borders and no dates yet for international flights. So Greece, now up to June 15th, planes will only be landing in Athens. Passenger must stay overnight at the designated hotel. If you have a negative test, then passengers still have to quarantine for 7 days. Positive test, you need to quarantine under supervision for 14 days, just like all the other countries. And then from July 1st on, it's open to international travel. Some restrictions for high-risk places, no more mandatory testing upon arrival, no quarantine. So from July 1st, Greece will be opening up its borders entirely, which is good news because many of you may actually want to travel to Greece this year. It's one of the safest countries because they only had about 400 deaths through COVID. So Austria reopens borders with all neighboring countries from June 15th, except for Italy, because Italy has been hit very, very hard and everyone is kind of reluctant to accept Italians just yet. Belgium, open to EU countries from June 15th. For the hospitality and culture industries, restrictions remain in place until July 1st. Denmark, as of June 8th, other EU nationals as well as UK nationals are not allowed to enter Denmark until the end of the summer. Italy, travelers coming from the above EU, UK, and Monaco won't have to undergo quarantine unless they have been in any other country in the 14 days before reaching Italy. So this is good news because Europeans are being let into Italy. Norway, the foreign ministry advises against all international travel that is not strictly necessary until August 20th. So next, very quickly, Cuba, because we do have people from Cuba, Brazil, Argentina, and so on. So Cuba, all non-residents are not allowed entry until June 30th. That means that, you know, no one can actually enter the country. Brazil, I believe I just heard that all the beaches are still closed. Everything is still closed in Cuba. Brazil, strict travel restrictions advised. Avoid all non-essential travel to Brazil. Peru, it's unknown. They're at the height of COVID at the moment. Same with Argentina. Saudi Arabia, because we also have someone from Saudi Arabia online. Flights to Saudi Arabia are suspended. Here we are. Yes, Saudi tour guides, welcome. So flights to Saudi Arabia are suspended. No updates yet. If you have updates for us, let us know. So South Africa, flights to South Africa are suspended. No updates yet. India, international flights can resume in the phase 3 of unlocking. No exact dates yet. Phase 1 began June 8th. So we still have to undergo phase 2 and 3. Next, international travel restrictions. I wanted to let you know that all of what we have researched, I have actually researched together with my entire team, and that's the reason why we wanted to run all those things by you. The first slides may not be so interesting to you, but the coming ones will be. We researched everything from very official websites like the CDC, the disease center in the United States, and from very official websites, okay? So international travel restrictions. The European Commission will decide only on June 15th about reopening the international borders for international travel. The US international travel ban is effective and no one knows when it'll be lifted. Same in Canada and same in Australia. My own daughter was actually supposed to leave for Australia in July to study there, and they said no international students, no one can enter until December 2020. All three countries are actually restricted until further notice, probably December or January, February. This effect on our work, on our future, on our lives is absolutely devastating. Only domestic travel will be allowed for a while, you know, and we keep having colleagues, because we do have a lot of guides working for us, and we do have a lot of colleagues who actually call us up and say, okay, now Italy and Europe is open, has been open, was open ever since June 3rd. So are clients booking? And I can tell you, no, clients are not booking, unfortunately. Yesterday, all the guides were actually in the streets demonstrating, because it is still considered very, very unsafe to travel to Italy and other European countries. So that's why most people will travel domestically until most probably at least the fall, if not early next year. So long-term effects on our core clients in the world of tourism. Travelers from the US, Canada, and Australia will not be allowed to travel outside their countries for many months to come. Unemployment in general, especially in the US, because they have 25 million people unemployed right now, it keeps going up, and survival is the key right now with all the riots they have, with all the stuff that's going on, and travel will be only for a few. Travel will become luxury. I have been in touch with a lot of travel agents in the US, in Canada, and in Australia, and they all say the same thing. Travel will become luxury. Fewer people will be able to travel as prices may go up, low-cost airlines will be struggling, and airfare will be higher, because a lot of the smaller airlines may be going out of business, or they have to raise the prices. So new rules at airports and during travel are discouraging. You have to be there 4 hours ahead of time. You have to wear masks and maybe also gloves. It is mandatory to test, and there will be quarantines. Fear, high-risk patients and elderly will avoid travel entirely. And many of us, of all of us, we actually had a lot of elderly traveling. Why? Because obviously they were the ones not only retired, they had the time, but they also had the money. So fewer families with kids will be traveling. Just imagine that you actually have a family coming, and it's very, very normal that a child runs a fever. So if it's higher than 37.5, then the entire family will be stuck at the airport, either at their home airport or at the airport of the country they will be traveling to. So that would be a devastating effect if the entire family then will have to be quarantined, and they will not enjoy their tours, their hotel, and everything else. So that's actually one of the reasons why people will be very hesitant for now to be traveling. Group travel and group tours, which a lot of us have been doing for years, will be off limits due to the restrictions and new laws and social distancing in a lot of countries. Actually, I know of a lot of the tour operators, the large tour companies who work with elderly people and so on, and they have told all their tour managers, if they have a second career, to please proceed and actually look for another job for the time being, because group travel may be back next year. So domestic travel, Americans, Canadians, and Australians will travel within their countries and not overseas for a while. Americans generally spend 3 times more on travel than any other country. And the travel funds, that is the money people spend, will now stay within the United States until 2021, 2022. I have to say that we had, obviously, just like everyone did, 100% cancellations. And the great thing is that a lot of people, and that is really something very, very nice, have accepted travel vouchers to come back next year or the year after that. If you have a travel agency or if you have your private clients, I can highly recommend give your clients, instead of giving them the money back, the option to actually travel within the next 3 years. And book tours and services with you, because that's actually when the client said, okay, I may not be able to come back next year, but I will by 2023, I will definitely come back and I'll leave the money with you. So that's what a lot of our clients accepted, which is very nice. Now, predictions from travel experts about US travel. There's actually Fossey, he's the virologist and the advisor, one of the advisors and closest people to President Trump, and he says he predicts a second wave in the fall, in October. So America may be expecting a second wave in the fall, which would be absolutely devastating to all of us who are actually working with Americans. The CDC, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, discouraged people from non-essential travel within the United States. It is not planned to open the borders for international travel just yet. So what can we expect? Travelers will be more cautious about booking a trip, tours, hotels, transportation, unless it is 100% refundable. Just like, you know, you book a hotel on booking.com, and then the hotels just need to understand that people may cancel even the same day they arrive. And obviously that may be very, very painful. Same for our tours, same for driving tours, for whoever works in tourism. And they may also want to spend less on a vacation and stay local. So, predictions for international travel destinations. International destinations, the rebound potential is rather slow. International travel bans and border closures are likely to remain in place for several months. The travel data company 3 Victors reports early affected countries are beginning to show a very slow and gradual increase in search demand for autumn 2020 and 2021. I do hope that some of you already experienced this, that people are connecting, especially maybe one idea would be to focus on expats living within Europe, like Americans who live in Europe or Australians or so. Contactless. At the airports, for instance, people, and also at restaurants, in stores, people will less and less accept cash. They want contactless. That is, they only accept credit cards. Online check-ins, fewer personnel at airports will actually create very, very long waits and long, long lines. That is what's being expected. And other lengthy procedures may include bags will be sanitagged. You go through fogging, electrostatic or UV disinfection, thermal scans, and whatnot. It's going to look as if we were in outer space, probably at the airports, and that's quite a scary thought. Cruise ships. How many of you work with cruise ships? Can you type that into the chat, please? How many of you work with cruise ships? Because I know even in England you work with cruise ships, and Brazil most probably. So the rebound potential, most say we're talking March, April 2021. There will be some cruise lines that will come back randomly in July and also in the fall. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So will travelers cruise amid coronavirus uncertainties? Travelers will be very hesitant to book cruises for the time being. You know, I mean, I know of a lot of our clients, we work a lot with cruise ship passengers, and the great thing is that they're Americans especially, they forget quite fast, no? Because they bounce back very quickly, and they're very optimistic very quickly again. So the great thing is that a lot of the cruise lines have not returned funds, they have not returned the money, but they give out vouchers, or they say, okay, you can book the same cruise next year, you know, whenever you want. And that's what a lot of our clients have been doing, so they can maintain the same tours with us. And I hope that's the same thing with you. So travelers will be hesitant, as I said. Some ships were stranded in the seas without being allowed to dock. So you're like a ghost, you're on a ghost ship floating around the Mediterranean, or, you know, the Atlantic, or wherever you may be. And obviously that is not appealing, because you don't even know when you will get off that ship ever again. And I happen to live in Civitavecchia, which is one of the largest cruise ports in the Mediterranean. And I can tell you, we used to have 9 ships a day, 8 ships a day, and now we have 2 that have been stranded here for 2 months.
6.
6 we have. Okay, 6 we have. Sorry, I gave you the wrong number. I haven't been outside the house for for a long time. Okay, so that is actually the reason why people are very hesitant when it comes to booking cruise ships, like cruise excursions and so on. Many of our clients postponed their canceled cruise by a year. So Canada bans all cruise ships 100 plus packs until October 2020, and a lot of other countries are actually going to follow. Some say 70 plus packs are not allowed. America urges people not to take cruises, and the travel ban is for 70 plus, exactly. So most cruise lines offer to postpone cruises. Carnival Cruise is to resume cruises in August. They're probably going to send 1 or 2 here or there, and mostly in the Caribbean. Then Norwegian Cruise Line relaunches 5 ships at a time. Estimate begins in 2021, and then Royal Caribbean, most sailing is canceled throughout the year 2020 as well. So predictions regarding international tours, and that's what interests most of us, I believe. So tours and excursions rebound potential likely in 2021. Major tour companies are reporting an uptick in inquiries for early 2021. We already said this, but unfortunately the trend is not to come to cities, but to go to national parks, nature, beaches, rather than culture and museums in cities to avoid the crowds. Research includes Iceland, Finland, Ireland, Scotland. I believe we also have someone from Scotland here, says Jeff Roy, Executive Vice President of Colette Tours. So what to expect? Smaller group tours and private excursions are going to be what's interesting to people, not large group tours anymore, unfortunately. Itineraries will be carefully crafted with social distancing considerations. So who will travel where and when? There will be a gradual return to travel before vaccine becomes available, and travelers will look for destinations least affected by COVID. Unfortunately, Spain, Italy, and the UK are among the hardest hit. So that's not exactly positive for us in Spain, the UK, and Italy, but let's hope that what I said comes true, and that you in America, because I believe we have also someone in from America here. Yes, yes. You guys will actually forget very quickly, and people will be traveling again. So domestic travel will come first, then travel to neighboring countries, and then people will pick up international travel once again, most probably early next year. The age group that is less vulnerable, 18 to 35, will be among the first ones to travel, but I'm asking myself, are these the ones who have the money to spend on expensive, private, exclusive tours? We shall see. So 65 plus will be hesitant, and so will families with children be, as we just said. So the questions a traveler asks himself or herself before booking in the future, the situation is my and your country or city ready for tourism? So what are those questions that people will be asking themselves? What is my government's travel advisory? What are the regulations, in the country I want to visit? Am I allowed into the country I want to visit? What are the new protocols in air, train, and bus travel? How safe is air travel right now? Have the prices gone up? Will they go up? Would I need to get tested upon arrival in the country city? Who pays for the testing? What if one of my family members is tested positive? What happens to the family trip? Will I have to be quarantined when I go back home? If I'm positive, could I afford being quarantined for another 14 days? Vaccine, yes or no? Do I have to do this? Will I be able to travel ever again if I don't? So these are the questions that we have actually identified because we have been interviewing a lot of people. And I think we need to take a closer look at those questions because it's very, very important to understand the psyche and where our clients are coming from. Also, when we are still in touch with them, the foremost important thing is actually to make sure to reassure them and to give them the feeling that they are safe with us and that we're here. We will not tell them any lies. We will actually be waiting for them until they come back. So museums and guides and driving tours. A lot of you are private tours, a lot of you are tour managers, so everything will change. Nothing will be the same. Museums have limited access. Examples: long lines, social distancing, no close contact with clients, group size depends on the museum. So I have to say, I actually had the great pleasure to be one of the first guides who toured the Vatican museums on June 1st with some expats who live in Rome, and they wanted to enjoy the empty Vatican museums. And there was no social distancing there. No rules, there were long lines, and it was really quite an experience. I have to say, and I would like to actually give you that advice, if you do work with private clients, then get yourself one of those face shields, the transparent face shields, please, because it's very useful. And I also was wearing a mask. The guards were nice enough to actually allow me to pull the mask that I had on down to my chin, and then I had the visor. It's kind of like a visor, kind of. It's like a face shield that's transparent on, because that way your clients can hear you and they can see your face moving. I mean, it's so hard to be a guide, I tell you. I mean, I was talking to the 8-year-old daughter and I couldn't even hear. She was mumbling because obviously, poor little thing, she had a mask on her face. Just let alone imagine you have a guide who doesn't speak English flawlessly. You know, you can't understand this person anymore. Facial expressions are so important. So it's very, very important. Go on Amazon and get yourself one of those face shields, please. Now, guides have to wear masks to maintain distance. Communication becomes more difficult. It was very difficult for me because I always give people the timeline and I couldn't touch my little clients to tell them what year was what. And everything becomes more difficult, especially when you work with private clients. So we need to get used to that. It's going to be very, very different. It's going to be a very different way of working, really. Driving tours, even with minivans, are off limits as social distancing is not guaranteed. Okay, and microphones and headsets are not allowed everywhere. We also need to be aware of that because of hygiene. Headsets, for instance, in our town are not allowed. I don't know if maybe by where you live, they are allowed. That's a big asset. I mean, we can take around up to 10 people here. That's it. But that obviously always depends on the country you're from. So, and what now? You're asking yourselves. Who's asking themselves, what now? Yes, no, maybe? Are you typing into the chat? Yes? Do you know what to do now? No, we're all lost. You see, that's the reason why I'm actually doing this, because I think it is extremely important to gain clarity on what's happening. I know of a lot of guides who are still waiting. Oh, there's still Lara saying, we need to find another job. Yes, unfortunately. And that's exactly why I'm here, because I want to give people good energy and vibes, because I know this is really, really tough on all of us. But I tell you what, this will not be the first crisis, nor will it be the last. A lot of us actually went through this when the towers in America fell. There were a lot of terrorist attacks, and we actually survived. It wasn't nearly what we're experiencing right now, but you know what? You are guides, you're tour managers, and you have agencies, and guides, tour managers, and people who are in the field of tourism have so much to give. You are leaders, you're managers, You actually are really good storytellers for the most part. You have so much to give. And with the skill set you have, you can do so much, you know? So now, the next slide is about the uncertainty, because we live in times of uncertainty. And I tell you what, I have been hit extremely hard because I have an agency. I'm not just a guide who needs to feed her daughter and, you know, who needs to get by. I have a big, large office, and I really don't know what's going to happen to that. Luckily, I'm also a business coach, and I can actually do other things, you will say. Oh, I'm lucky. Yes, I work very hard, because when the towers fell and after the terrorist attacks and so on, I actually said I need to have a second leg to stand on. And I've always loved to help businesses and to help people grow and flourish. And that's why I became a business coach and a motivational trainer. So you guys could do something similar, but there's so many different options, you know? Now, uncertainty, we have two choices. Always remember, what we focus on expands. This is one of my favorite, all-time favorite phrases, really, because it's like we can think very, very negative, and then our focus is on the negative, on what we don't have anymore. Or we can focus on, okay, this is my skill set, this is what I'm capable of, and I can actually do something really amazing with this, okay? So you can either make an action plan, or you can be negative and blame people and have a sense of failure and low self-esteem, because it does pull you down, you know? And I know this, I'm going through the same exact thing you're going through. You know, when you live uncertainty every single day and you're waiting for a miracle to happen, and you wait for some positive news, but they're not coming, you know, you go like, oh my God, you know, am I really able to pull myself out of this situation? And it's like, we all think like, how am I going to feed myself? How am I going to feed my kids? And that's a dramatic situation right now, especially in Italy and in other countries. I'm sure in India it's really not very rosy right now, and in a lot of other countries, even in the United States. So, and that's a very civilized, amazing country. So we're all in the same boat. Fear, you know, uncertainty makes us be fearful. We're full of fear, you know, and you have sleepless nights, and you go like, now what? So fear holds us back, and it paralyzes us. Fear does not do anything good. You know, fear is like a protection. It's an anticipation of pain, you know, and our whole body, our whole system freezes. It like, it gets paralyzed. And then you really cannot, no, go back, please. Okay, and then you can really not move anymore. And the fear leads to negativity that causes stress that will ultimately make us sick. And once you're sick, you really can't move anymore. So what are our choices? I mean, we need to do something about this. We need to move. So there's this vicious cycle, no? Uncertainty leads to negative thoughts that lead to inactivity, wait, complain, blame the government, and so on. You know, I've stopped complaining about the Italian government, for instance, because they're not going to help us anyway. So what do we have to do? We need to take responsibility as soon as possible, because you know what? It's already June 10th. This is our super high season, right? Is this your high season too? Yes. So we need to do something now. And we get blocked, self-esteem goes down, and the negative results will remain. Then it turns into disappointment, and fear of failure and depression may be the result. So the opposite side is, okay. The opposite side is, and here it is we are what we think. If we think positive, and I do hope that most of you took this time of rest that was given to us involuntarily as an opportunity. That's what I did. I actually used this time very, very wisely to read, to study, to actually create webinars. I did a lot of webinars with very interesting personalities and people during this time. And I do hope that you could also enjoy this moment to maybe, you know, reset and say, okay, I need to now start something new. So positive thinking leads to a balanced life, and it breeds self-confidence. So we need to start, and we need to try to embrace change and get motivated and take action to work on a new project. And working on a new project. I just had a guide who actually did one of my courses in February, just right before lockdown started. And she sent me a message and she said, you know, I've just started this new project thanks to you. And I feel so good because I'm so motivated right now, because it gives her so much positive energy and results. Now, this way we regain control of our life, and you know, uncertainty controls us otherwise. So let's actually move as soon as possible and get out of this rat wheel. So long term, we will be successful and happy. And when the tourists come back, then we can go back to, you know, whatever we love to do most. But maybe with the skill set you have, you know, you can do a lot of things. So what will the world be like after coronavirus? Technology is changing, and so is the world. So work from home, you won't believe it, has increased by 600% on Google. Health, wellness, education. The future is online, guys. It's not enough anymore to not be online. How many of you, can you please type into the chat, how many of you have a website or on social media? Can you type in, and who is not also? Christina does. Okay, Amul does. Well, Amul is going to talk to us in a little while. Okay, James, thank you. Okay, you all have a website. Okay, great. But I want to give you also some advice, because this is what I've been doing and I think is very, very useful. Keep in touch with your clients now, because right now is when they need us the most, because they need to know that we're still here. So it's really a wise thing to keep in touch with our clients. And what is also very, very wise, I don't know how many of you are doing this, but to also have videos on your websites and to be in social media with websites, you know, on the updates of what is happening in your country when they're opening back up and so on. Give them, you know, something to understand that you're still there. So everyone is connected virtually. Now, people in 2019 and 2019 were on the internet about 2 hours a day on the average. Now, ever since 2020, they have been online 3.5 hours a day. That is a lot of time, guys. So instead of, you know, checking your like other people out and looking for the grass that's greener on the other side, how about you actually make the internet work for you and make money? So, is that a good idea? Okay, Erica is doing videos, yeah. So people purchase most everything online these days. After lockdown, they don't even leave the house as often anymore. That's me. Only who adapts will survive and strive. It's not the strongest that will survive, but the most adaptable ones. That's what Charles Darwin said. You know, do you agree? Who agrees with this? It's not the strongest that will survive, but it's the most adaptable ones. Guys, we need to be adaptable. We need to adapt now to the circumstances, because the new normal is going to be very, very different from our old normal. Yes, true, exactly. So, which industries are doing well and make money in 2020? Here are the trends. E-commerce. If you sell things online, you can sell products, you know, your own products, or through a third party, or you sell someone else's products. Now, social media platforms, virtual technologies, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, teleworking software like Slack and Zoom to do conferences. This is what we're doing right now, you know, and I do conferences like this, and then I put people in chat rooms so they actually work together and they can actually work on different projects. Then I walk into their chat room virtually and we discuss things, and then we have group shares. It's really so fun. And then we also have freelance coaching and consulting, one-on-one or with a group. Digital marketing, your own website, membership website. So education and e-learning, create your own history channel, you know, or your own radio show, like a podcast maybe. And then there's also drop shipping. Sell other people's goods, have someone else ship them. All you need is your website, choose the products, and then you sell them. This all sounds like Chinese to a lot of us. Yes? How many of you have heard of drop shipping, or, I mean, it's really, really difficult. So the world is not becoming a worser place to live. We just finally have the technology to expose the truth. That's what Gary Vaynerchuk said. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he makes millions online. So, alternatives for guides and tour managers to make money in 2020. So a lot of you may have heard of one of our colleagues, I forget his name now, but he actually offers like programs to become a virtual tour guide. We do the same thing. We actually put you in a situation to become a virtual tour guide, like we teach you how to make videos and stuff like that. The global VR, virtual reality market, is estimated to grow substantially, 7.7 times more than 2018's global market. Wow, that's big. Create your own personal brand, blog, or page. A lot of you already have a page, but maybe you could actually also do videos and stuff like that. Then create your own online courses. I know a lot of guides who have started this. I don't know of very many guides that do it successfully. There's always ways and ways of doing things. And please, this is one of the things, don't give up right away. If it doesn't work the first time, don't give up. Try it again, try it with different methods, strategies, and so on. So become an affiliate marketer and make commissions by promoting other people's products. Become a voiceover professional. If you have a nice voice and you're a nice storyteller, you can actually sign up on Fiverr. I don't know if some of you have heard of Fiverr. I love Fiverr to death. I'm on Fiverr all the time, purchasing little gigs, especially for like the holidays and so on. They have really cool videos that you can purchase for like $5, and you can actually work for them too and offer your products. So create your own YouTube channel or podcasts. Create sales funnels. I don't know, how many of you know what a sales funnel is? Do you know what that is? A sales funnel? Like if you have a product or if you have a service you offer, you can then offer something for a little price, and then you go up in price as you go. Then create your own membership website. That is very lucrative because people will stay with you for a long time. You actually make them pay €19 each month, and then they stay with you for like a whole year, maybe, if you have something interesting to offer. Write your own ebook or books and publish them. You can even be your own publisher. It's possible now that you self-publish your books, and create e-commerce and drop shipping websites. So, okay, don't you love that little boy? He's on my website. Okay, now I wanted to actually tell you about the program that I have developed, and this is not a sales course, okay? This is not the primary idea. I just want to give you an idea of what we do. You can do this all on your own. You don't need to come to us, but if you're lost, then this may be a good idea, okay? And after this, we will then actually do the chat and we will have people talk. So after this, I would actually like everyone who has sent us their email address, give you and for free, our first module that's on the mindset. That's actually like the foundation of a house. This is the most important thing, to have a positive mindset in order to create anything, basically. And that's what I would like to give to you. After this, tomorrow we'll actually send it to you, okay? So, and we have 5 modules, and the first module we will send you for free. So the other 4 sessions, it's a 3-hour program, and then we actually have a step-by-step interactive live program online, just like we're doing right now. And you would actually design your own project with your own skill set. Then you learn to set your goals. Then you create an execution plan. So it's a step-by-step program, so you know where you're going and what you're doing and how you need to do it. You know what? I actually took a lot of courses in my life, and I wish I had had someone there who would give me a step-by-step program so I would not be lost. I did not have this, unfortunately, and I spent 5,000 euros for a course at some point, and this person, you know, it was actually called I Am Here in Italian, Io ci sono, and the funny thing is, for the 5,000 year course, he was never there. So we, in the end, never really got our project that we were supposed to create. So in any case, that's why I wish, you know, I had someone like me right now who actually is giving you the step-by-step program, because this is so much value. We also give you a one-on-one coaching session, 30 minutes. It has the value of 90 euros, but it's free. Then we have a 16-page DISC personality assessment to learn about your strengths and limitations. This is fundamental. This is so valuable for a guide, because you learn to actually deal with people who are not like you, and you actually understand exactly how you can improve the rapport with anyone, basically. The value is 50 euros, but it's free. Then we actually have the free membership of our mastermind group for 2 months. And then we also are part of a group of like-minded people like us. We're all in the same field, basically. And we have a buddy system to hold you accountable. And we have great discounts for a new website creation, membership websites, and also videos and so on. This would be only $197. Okay, whoever is interested, please let us know. We'll actually send you a link tomorrow so you can look at it and get a better idea of what this is all about. Okay, so if you already have a plan or a business, we can help you develop your idea and grow your business. So you need input and help to build a website from scratch, or make the one you have functional, or an e-commerce or membership website. We are here. It's not me. I'm not very good at this, but I have a whole team. Actually, it's the gentleman. You can actually see him right here. I don't know if you can see him.
No.
Okay, and he actually has his team. That's what he does for a living. He creates websites and so on. Really beautiful ones. He has created only 12 for our businesses. So then level up on your social media skills. This is so important. You guys are all on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook all the time. Why not learn the tools, the strategies on how to actually become a pro in this now that you have time, or how to make your own videos? We have the blueprints. I have magnificent blueprints that teach you step by step on how to write the script and how to do very successful videos where people will really listen to you, and they will not actually turn off after 30 seconds. That's very important, because people generally turn things off if they're not interested anymore after 30 seconds. Learn the fundamentals of digital marketing to boost your project. So, and we also have create sales funnels to sell your own products online. We already said this, but this is create your own podcast studio online. We already said this as well. Okay, and how to become a blogger or writer. Maybe some of you, you know, if you're good storytellers, I bet you're excellent bloggers and writers. So why not start writing something and start posting it, you know, and you can even make money with blog writing and so on. Okay, and questions and answer session. Yay! So I would like to actually give you the opportunity to now talk to us. If whoever would like to talk, you need to please lift your hand. Raise your hand. Okay. Das ist nicht mehr da. Nimm das weg, bitte. Okay. Okay, here we go. So, who would like to talk to us? Who would like to talk to us? Can you raise your hand? You can raise your hand like this, or you need to raise your hand somewhere. There's actually a hand. Where is the hand? Where do they need to click? You need to click in the chat. Erica, I guess we're all shy. Okay, Erica, do you want to say something? Erica, ask to unmute. Okay.
Hello, nice meeting you all.
Where are you
It's
connecting
really
from? We know your name.
yes. So I'm a tour guide here in São Paulo, and I
Brazil.
was saying also on the chat
Uh,
that people in Rio are trying to do now this virtual tour.
uh-huh.
They're doing it first only for Brazilians, and soon they will start it also launch it for foreigners. And at least in Brazil, it's working a little bit, but we don't know if really the foreigners will like to see like Rio or São Paulo or other cities in Brazil just on the
Well,
internet.
it's worth a try, isn't it? I mean, it's worth
Yes, yes, sure, sure. At least we're doing something. At least we're
Yeah,
doing
no,
something.
that's marvelous. And you know what I always think is great as well is to get together with a group of friends, of guides, or like-minded people to create a project together, you know. Is anyone doing that? Any of you? Or is any of you in a group of people and trying to pull off a project? Anyone? Any hands?
Um,
Jose Galvez, where are you connecting from? Thank you so much, Erica.
yes. Hi. Hi.
Where are you?
It's actually almost 2 a.m. here in the Philippines. So I would say good morning.
Thank you for connecting.
Oh yeah. Oh, as per your question, I would say yeah. In our organization, I have actually come up with a group where we actually do virtual tour guiding. So we actually promote the Philippine tourism. So it actually aims at keeping the spirit of tour guiding,
Mhm.
but through, of course, virtually. So we have actually started this since the first week of May, and it's actually working for us because we do actual commentary, live commentaries, and of course we have started this with some of our friends, and now these friends of ours have been recommending this kind of virtual tour, and they really like it because they say most of them would say they really like the feeling of seeing these destinations here in the Philippines. So
How do you
perhaps we could also.
Can I ask you, James, how do you do this? So you actually record things and then you charge?
No, we
No.
we do not actually record, but well, at first we have thought of that recording because it makes life easier or the experience easier, but we actually studied a kind of real-time experience wherein we use a platform which is the Street View, the Google Street View,
Okay.
and then link the share the screen to the Zoom, like what we are doing right now.
Okay. And
So
how
that's
do you
what
make
we
money?
do.
Do you guys make money or do you do it?
Yes, yes, definitely. We actually make money from it. We have two options for that particular tour guiding, virtual tour guiding to make money. First is through tips, of course.
No, I didn't.
Uh,
What?
Tips, of course. As tour guides, we also receive tips.
Oh, tip.
Tipping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Awesome.
So of course, we market it as free, a free virtual tour guiding. But at the end of the session, we not actually encourage the virtual tours, but actually it's like telling them that if you are happy with the experience, with the whole experience, then you might want to just give tips of any amount, and then at first.
Great idea.
Yes, yes, it's really a great idea because
Guys,
you
are
don't
you
actually
taking notes?
push. Yes, you don't actually push your virtual tourist to give you money or pay for you. But of course, if they really like it, and
Okay.
definitely as per our experience by doing it last month, since last month, it has been very effective, and perhaps about 80% of our tourists or virtual tourists have been giving tips. For example, the minimum they would give is like one US dollars, or example €1 up to €10. So it depends
Well,
on them.
no, but we need to tell everyone that in the Philippines, that's a lot of money.
Yes, it's actually a lot of money for the
That's a lot of
Philippines because
money in the
if you go
Philippines.
to the
So
Philippines and
it's not like
experience the.
it's like 50 euros here, or like
Yeah, yeah. Well,
$60.
it actually
Okay,
depends, but
James.
yeah.
James, we have several questions for you. We have Sylvia
Yeah,
is
sure,
asking, who are your clients?
sure.
And Erica is saying, James, how do they pay you? By PayPal?
Oh yeah. Oh, the how do they pay us? Here in the Philippines, we have this local banks. So after the tour, they would chat us personally directly, and then we will just be giving our bank account or my bank account, for example, or I could just flash my QR code of a certain bank that I have, and
Oh
also
my
PayPal.
goodness, your
Yes.
QR code, you are so ahead of your time.
Yes, yes. So we, our company actually does that the first here in the Philippines, and I would also in the next few days I'll be actually teaching some of our fellow tour guides here who
Uh-huh.
has been very down of what's happening. But I
Thank you
always tell
so
them
much, James. This
what
is
you have.
awesome. Listen, I have
Yeah,
a question. Sorry to interrupt you. No, if you could, because Allison is actually saying, can you send us the link to this? Maybe some people would be interested in seeing how you do your tours, and then you can leave
yeah,
them in
sure.
this, please.
Yeah, sure. I can
Maybe you can
send you
do
the
that.
link right now. I will type it right
Okay,
now.
type it
Maybe
into the chat.
that
Thank you
lives
so
I
much,
do.
James, for this very
Sure.
awesome idea. Great.
No
Thank you.
problem. I would love to share that.
Thank you. No, that's awesome. And thanks for connecting at 2 in the morning. Wow, what a sacrifice. Anyone else? Who else would like to talk to us, please? Amul. Amul actually has a really interesting project as well that he has been working on. Yes. Yeah, I think you can talk, no? Can
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, hi, Amul.
So
Amul, may I say he's in San Francisco, right?
yeah, yes, I'm based out of San Francisco.
Okay,
So
beautiful.
yeah, first of all, thank you, Katja, for organizing this. This is really great, and it was great talking to you, all of you. So let me tell you what we are doing, and what me and a couple of my friends are working on is create an on-demand tour guide app. Now, what exactly is an on-demand tour guide platform or an application? So for the minute, let's think from a point or from a lens of a tourist. So let's say whenever you go and you visit a destination, you want to know a lot of details about the place you want to go. It can be like starting from its history, its architecture, its stories around that place and whatnot. And the best way to get that knowledge is obviously from tour guides, because you guys, we as a tour guides have a lot of experience, has a lot of knowledge about the place that generally people don't. But a lot of time what happens is, let's say the tour guide is off for a 2 to 3 hour long, but I usually visit, let's say, one place. I do not want to go for the 2 to 3 hour long let's say guided tour. So in that case, I do not generally ask for the tour guide just for the one place. So
Okay.
what we want to do is we want to fill in that gap. Let's say you just want to visit one place. So we want to create a platform where a tourist can go and search for that particular place. And once they search for that particular place, we will show them the content which is pre-created
But
or say,
in real time, Amul, in real time, you will show him.
no, so this content or we will curate before itself with the help of the
It's
tour
recorded.
guides.
Okay.
Yeah, we will record it in way of audio clips. So
Okay.
an example could be, let's say I visit Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. So I just type in, enter Golden Gate Bridge, and what it gives me is that it gives me like history, architecture, fun facts, and things like that, which people are interested in a guided tour.
Okay.
And that content will be curated by industry experts like tour guides and tour managers. And how will this help tour guides is that they will have to pay some price to get the content of that particular place. So that money, or say that revenue, will not be so wherein this helps is that the volume, because there are a lot of tourists who go to just one place. There are millions of tourists who are coming to San
Okay.
Francisco,
Can
but not
you?
everyone is.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Amul. I think a lot of people would be interested in knowing and learning more about it. So if you can send me some information about it, we'll include it in the email tomorrow that we'll be sending everyone.
Oh yeah.
How
That
about
would
that?
be great.
Because it's kind of complex. So, I mean, you could be
Yeah.
talking for like a half hour.
Yeah.
If you can send me some information, then I will be very, very happy to
Mhm.
include it so everyone can have it. All right?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm
Okay.
just typing in my email ID on the chat. So if anyone wants to know more about the project, they can
Okay.
reach out to
Yeah,
me
you
to
can
look
also do
through.
that. Super. Thank you so much, Amol. And greetings to San Francisco. Okay.
Thank you for organizing this.
Thank you, Amol. Okay, Christina. Where's Christina?
Diana, sì, ok.
Oh, Christina. Hola, ciao. No, tu sei in Italia, you're in Italy.
Sì, sono in Italia. Just,
Okay. Christina is in Italy.
Uh,
Where in Italy?
Ravenna.
Ah,
Ravenna.
Bella. Ah, beautiful.
Just to be positive, we have already started to have tours, actually with tourists. I mean,
With real
with
tourists.
real ones. So starting from the end of May, some guides started tours with having themes. Tours which are suitable for locals, so for people from our region, because end of May only people from the region could move. And starting from the beginning of June, we started tours also with people coming from the other regions because they can move. But mainly we are proposing tours with not the typical, the classical tours, as so we have the UNESCO monuments in Ravenna. So usually tourists come for the mosaics. So all the locals know these monuments, so they are not so interested to have tours in the monuments, but they are interested to have different tours having
Different
themes.
tours.
Or
That's a great idea.
for example, I'm tonight is they are starting the summer events. So during the summer we have 2 nights in which shops are open and there are events. So they are organizing still this year, and I'm organizing tours for locals for all summer. For sure, there are tours with small groups, so small, 15 people. But I know that some colleagues are making tours also with 20 people, 25 people, and they are allowed to also to enter the monuments because now they are open.
That's marvelous.
For sure, it's different from how it was before. So we don't. Our high season was April and May, so we lost it completely. In summer period in Ravenna, we don't have really tourists coming from abroad or groups coming from other parts of Italy, other cities. I see that local people are interested to know better their cities. So this is what I'm doing, and I have just sent a program to the tourist office of Ravenna today with all the programs of all the tours for this summer. I'm having them on Friday night. So it's a short tour outside, so not inside the buildings. And the tour ends with I have 4 different tours. It ends every time to a different place. And I offer in the package of the tour also
cocktail.
Yes, right. You're right.
See, that's a good idea.
What we say,
guys,
the apericena, what we call apericena. Someone asked me about Satispay in the chat. I sent the link.
Answered. Yes, I saw.
So this is
so
what we several people in Italy have Satispay. So it's a way to transfer money easily with no cost. We use this also between friends when I have to give money to a friend of mine, for example, and we use this also for payments. This is what we can add to PayPal and
yeah, and it's a good alternative to PayPal. Thank you so much, Christina. No, Christiana.
Thank you. Bye.
Sorry, Christiana. Okay, anyone else who would like to talk to us? Marlene. Yes. Okay, unmute. Marlene is in Rome, and she's Danish.
Hi, how are you doing?
Very good. Do you have any suggestions?
Okay.
I see you've been doing a lot of videos. Oh, now she froze.
No,
That's
not,
very
no,
convenient.
not Marlene froze.
Have any suggestions? Well, I'm always full of ideas and suggestions. The people froze. Am I there?
Yes,
Yes,
you're
you're
here now.
here.
You're here now.
Okay, it's the internet connection out here in the mountains. Well, I've always had a lot of ideas, and of course, I thank Katja for reminding us about the good ideas. It's only that, of course, the technology and the digital world that we're living in is that it's giving us a lot of opportunities. The problem is that I'm suffering from this lockdown completely, because the 10th of March I had this great tour that I had prepared, and then it was just locked down. And so for the past 3-4 months, actually I'm suffering quite a lot from this like a post-trauma.
Oh,
And
no.
trying to,
But you need to move on. It's not good to dwell on things.
no, of course not. But eventually, preparing for the season to start here, I have some clients that canceled in May and coming here from the States in September. And so it's very interesting also that the line out of what countries are opening and what countries they're traveling. So I was surprised that they were confirming already for September. But eventually they probably got their tickets. I don't know how. But the problem is that hotels, not all of the hotels will be opened for clients because they have to have the distancing and the sanitizing in all the hotels. And
well, a lot of them, excuse me for interrupting, but a lot of the hotels will be going out of business, just like a lot of driving companies and so on will be going out of business. So that's exactly why we don't want to go out of business. We want to survive and strive, and there are a lot of opportunities out there, and that's what we need to look at, no? I think we need to always think positive, because there are so many opportunities out there. We just need to find them. And, you know, that's what I was saying before, Marlene and everyone else, that you guys have such a vast skill set, no? Actually is, I don't know if Eddie is still here. Is Eddie still here with us? I don't know. Oh yeah, Eddie is still here, but he disappeared. Hi, Eddie. Eddie, oh, you're resting. Hi, Eddie. Eddie is in Florence, right?
Hello?
Yeah, Marlene, sorry. Eddie, are you in Florence?
Roma.
Oh, you're in Rome. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're in Rome too. And you're one of those jack of all trades, no?
Yes.
You do a lot of things. You know, Eddie actually does food tours, and he does bike tours, and he does Segway tours, and he is a tour manager and a guide. And I mean, there are a few things that Eddie doesn't do, right?
Yes, exactly. So the period was very hard for us, but we moved together with other tour leaders and tour guides, trying to promote secret Rome, so secret places, hidden places, and not touristic routes. Of course,
good.
as Christina
Good
said
idea.
before, we're working with locals people, people from the region, now with people from other regions of Italy. The situation is different because the social distancing and the sanitizing, etc. But a little bit of things are moving slowly, but we can see the difference if compared to 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So we are optimistic, I would dare
So
to
you
say.
work with locals as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I do in 4 languages, including Italian, and usually the Vatican museums. Now Vatican museums just reopened last week, and this is the best occasion for the local people to visit the museums, because usually every day they have an amount of 26,000 people visiting museums. So it's always everybody in a hurry, groups are pushing each other, people screaming inside the Sistine Chapel. So now this is the best period for local people to visit without the jam and the confusion.
Okay.
So
Great.
we have to grab about to those little things. So never give up.
Very good. Thank you so much, Eddie. And
You're
thanks so
welcome.
much for Lane as well. Who else would like to join us here? Who would like to say something? Sylvie. Sylvie. Hold on. Unmute. I don't know. Is it not working?
Sylvia, you need to push a button that says like that
Unmute.
to switch on your microphone.
Sylvie, you need to turn on the button that says unmute. Ah, now.
Okay,
There you go.
I just found it. Hello to everybody. So this was so interesting. First, to think that we're not alone in our little hole, and that so many people suffer from the same problem, and so it's really really interesting. It's also very mind opening. And okay,
Where are you connecting from?
I'm Nice on the French Riviera, France.
Oh,
French Riviera, yes, okay.
okay.
It talks to some of you. All right, so, okay. I just have a question about virtual tour. I do not understand how you can virtually guide people, because if you just, I mean, my tours are smell this, taste this, you know, take a look at that. How can you do that if it's virtual? I don't understand that. I'm very close to my people. I sense, you know, more than anything, like I adapt to them. I ask them questions, so I know what they like. And at the end, it's like being with friends, you know. How can you do that if it's virtual? Can anybody understand?
Can anybody answer? I'm not a
Yeah.
virtual pro.
Yeah. I just never thought it was
I mean,
possible.
that's difficult, and that's very hard, no? Because yeah, I mean, you need to
Hello.
smell.
Yes, everybody
Lavender,
could
for
hear
example.
me. It's Khalid from Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Actually,
Oh yes, hi.
yes, this
Where?
academy, they're doing virtual tour. It's called G Guide. Is in Sylvania, and I did the course. I'm not. I don't feel that I could do it, but I did the course. It's 5 days. It's 2 hours a day. And it's really interesting. They show you how to use the camera, what you put on the contents. They give you a lot of information. And there's some people, they're selling their product through the virtual tour. There was one Turkish guy, they mentioned their name. He's a tourist guide. He started to selling the experience of the coffee. He's selling the coffee beans. He ship it to them, and then he will go with them online to make it. How they make the coffee and even reading the cup for them. That is interested actually, and yes, maybe in my country it's a bit difficult because it's big. Our season is over already because we start our season. They start on September, October up to March. See, when Corona started, we was already on the end of our season. I see that's why. But the G Guide Academy, they do really well on that sort of thing. If I could find the link for you, I will put it on the
on the chat, please do.
On the chat.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sylvie. Thank you
Welcome.
so much.
And I just share my experience here. The only thing, the idea I found here was to contact every tourist information, proposing them to offer to groups free tours. Of course, they would pay me, but they would offer the tours to the groups. So that was an idea. And I'd said I would work at a better price. So you offer the tours and you pay me, of course, but that's good for you because it makes people come to your place and you get the benefit, you know, of having more people coming because you're offering the tour.
That's
so
great.
And you know what? And the good thing is that I proposed the idea to some groups of guides in Paris, and just today they sent me an email saying that Paris is offering free tours and they will be paid by the tourist information of Paris, who will offer the tours. And so my idea will start in Paris, not where I am, unfortunately, but that's a good start because now I will tell the tourist information where I live, look, Paris is doing this, so we have to do the same thing. And
That's great.
will work here. Well, that's an idea. Maybe some of you can inspire yourself from that idea.
Yeah, I think if we tried this in Italy, they would say, yeah, we'll pay you, and then we'll never get paid. So,
no. You can try.
You, Sylvie. Thank you so much. I actually wanted to see if Linda Higgins is there. And Linda, are you there? Can you lift your hand if you're there? And then we have someone from Kenya. Is Linda here? Linda.
Linda, there she is.
Oh, there you are. Hi. Hi, Linda. Are you connecting from the United States?
Yes, from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Oh, hi. Hi, welcome. So can you tell us a little what the situation is like in America right now, and if people are fearful, or are you a guide as well?
Yes, I'm a guide in Florence. And it's been very frustrating because normally I would have been working in May, June, and September, October. And I had clients in May and June, and then of course, we had to cancel.
Yeah, of course.
And September, October, I just notified people I'm not going to be there because of the situation in the United States. And it's very confusing here.
So, but who are your clients generally? Europeans?
Well, I mean, I have my license, my tour guide license, my Italian tour guide license. So I'm certified there, but in English and Italian. But normally my clients are all generally Americans, or sometimes European, English speaking.
Okay.
Normally.
Okay. But how do people react to travel when you talk to them about travel? I mean, no one wants to travel right now. They want to stay put.
Right now, no, right now people were asking before we were all shut down, should I go? Should I go? And I said, well, I'm waiting to see because right now I have my flight, I have my apartment rental, I have clients, but really I would tell my clients it's up to you how safe you would feel, because maybe you want to postpone until the fall or possibly till next year. And now of course, who knows what's going to happen. You know, it's very sad to tell my friend who I rent my apartment from, I won't be there in the fall. You know, I have to worry about my husband's health and
you'll be there sooner or later. No,
I will be here. Now that I've gotten brave enough, you forced me to talk online. I mean, I normally would have been giving presentations about Florence, different aspects like World War II tours, and also women of the Florentine Renaissance. I would give presentations here because I just moved here from Santa Fe from New York, and I would be giving tours, I mean, virtual presentation tour type tours. Yeah. But now that's all closed. But you've given me the inspiration, possibly I will have enough nerve to do it online. Because everyone loves to hear about these different aspects.
The spirit. That's the spirit to actually, you know, in a group, yes, it's easier. It's really easier, you know, when you do it in a group and you know, we get inspired by other people talking who are already doing something similar, you know. So I think that's really fantastic.
You have to get a haircut.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Linda. Greetings to Santa Fe. Well, we've already gone quite over time, but we have one last person. I don't know. Situ from Kenya Safari, whom I would like to, yes, unmute so we can listen. Hello, Situ.
Hello, hi everyone.
Hi, oh, hey, do you have a mic? Do you have a camera so we can see you?
Oh, okay.
Maybe. Okay. So from Kenya Safari, what time is it there right now?
It's 9 p.m.
Oh, here you are. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Very well. Great to see that you're connecting from Kenya. Thank you.
Great to see you too. Great to see everybody.
So how are things in Kenya? You probably work with a lot of Americans there, huh?
Yes, yes, we do. We work with a lot of Americans and a lot of people from Europe as well.
Mm-hmm.
And our tours are mostly wildlife and adventure tours and safaris.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right now, because of the pandemic, we're not receiving any international travels. Right now, we're only dealing with local tourism.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I must say it has been quite difficult.
Mhm, mhm.
Mm.
It's not the same as how tourism used to be. It's
Yeah,
difficult for everyone
it's very
around the
difficult.
globe.
And
Yeah,
the thing is, it will change, you know? I mean, our life
yeah,
will
yeah.
change. The good thing is that people will tend to travel. I mean, for you, the good thing, not for many of us, is that
Yeah,
people will tend to go on a safari rather than into a museum, you know,
yeah, yeah,
probably.
true.
So that's good news for you.
Yeah, and also the good thing is all this shall pass and our lives are going to go back to normal eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, mine was a suggestion that since we are all in this platform and we are all in the same kind of business, tourism and tours, what if we use this platform to connect tour guides and tour operators from all over the world, and then we can plan on how we are going to work together for the future for 2021, 2022, 2023, and help each other bring clients. I might bring clients from Kenya who want to go to Paris, who want to go to the US. And you might also have clients who want to experience East Africa and wildlife.
Yeah.
What if we
That's
platform?
actually why we have a mastermind group, you know, and that's where we gather and we talk and we, you know,
Mhm.
that's a good idea to have a mastermind group. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if the participants of this group are willing, we can each connect with each other, probably leave numbers of our WhatsApp numbers, and probably connect more and know how we will work with each other to grow each other in the future. Because all this is going to end. All this is going to come to an end, and people are going to start traveling again. So I
Yeah.
think this is the best opportunity for us to see ways in which we can grow and grow each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
very nice. Thank you so much.
Mm.
I mean, whoever wishes, I don't know how we could actually possibly do this the
I
easiest
don't know.
way, but, you know, if anyone is interested, maybe you can leave your number, your email address, so people can
Okay.
also get in touch with you. So if you
Okay.
leave, because not everyone may want to do that, so whoever
Yeah.
wants to get in touch with you, you can just write it into the chat.
I'll do
Okay.
that. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Sinzitu. I can't pronounce the name.
See to Kenya Safaris.
Okay. Listen. So we have, I think we have one more, if that's okay with everyone, and then we'll call it a day. So Rajesh from. Okay. I think you need to unmute it. Oh,
Yeah.
mute.
Hello. Namaste. I'm
Namaste.
Rajesh, or Raj, you can say. I'm from India. I'm from the southern part of India. So, okay, I just want to say, first of all, thank you very much for this wonderful presentation. And it's really helpful. And it's actually motivating too. So I just want to say what I am doing these days. First thing I did is like conducting few webinars, mainly for the tour guides of India. Okay, so I've just started like a Facebook group, and almost now we have 1,000 tour guides from like licensed tour guides in India. So we're sharing these messages and networking with all the guides, because and teaching them how to use the Zoom, as well as so a few guides already giving their experiences and sharing their experiences to us. So it's basically we are organizing webinars with the archaeological people, all for free, and also we are learning experiences from the seniors. That's the first thing I'm doing. And second thing is like I'm also doing some kind of small PowerPoint presentation about the small destinations which I do, and which I am presenting to the two companies which I work for. Because you see, even nowadays, many tour companies, that's what they want. They want the presentations, or the staff gets engaged. So I'm trying to help them with that. Then third thing I'm doing, I do work for a few American groups in India, Southern India. So I'm helping them with the next itinerary for 21, 22. So this year be forgettable. Yeah. So this is what I am doing. And then, of course, it's like, networking with the hotels or the establishments which I work for, like, getting the information, what's happening. And, so basically networking, trying to help with what I could do, like, sharing information when they are going to open the restaurant or when the hotel is going to be open. So, and we have just started a campaign, Unlock, like a Kerala Unlocked, like we are trying to help telling the world that, okay, we are slowly opening up. Yeah, so this is what I am trying, we are doing.
That's very
and
nice.
The most important,
Thank you. That's, this is very valuable information, huh? That you actually do those, you teach people how to use Zoom and how to do useful things, to improve their skill set. I think that's a really, really great idea. Okay, wow, thank you so much. Wow, this was really, really awesome. We've been getting a lot of information and a lot of ideas and tips. So I think we've, but it's like 8:30 already. Okay, Akhilesh, 1 minute, because then it's almost 8:30. People need to go to bed here. James needs to go to bed, please.
Yeah.
He's in the
It's 12
Philippines.
o'clock, Akhilesh.
That's okay. That's fine.
Okay, thank you. Where are you from?
Myself, I'm from India.
Oh, you're from India too.
Yeah,
Okay.
from the city of Taj, Agra.
Okay.
Yeah, I work for a company as a general manager for a destination management. So that's how. But it's really very eye opener and kind of things you have said. But out of uncertainty, we have to look the certainty in So we have to be positive and optimistic. That's the way to move forward. Otherwise, being negative, you are not going to get anything out of it. So I think, and being a human, we are a social animal. We will travel again. So that's the strong thing. I think we need to convey the positivity around, and we have to create the confidence in the society to generate the travel demands. So it's not the end of the world. We will travel again. So give the strength all over the globe to the tourism people. So we'll come back and we'll bounce back soon.
Very good. Thank you so much. Yes, we need to stay positive. You said something very important.
Yeah, it's not a new normal, I'll say, because I'll say something else. It's a temporary abnormal, So it's a temporary abnormal because you can't travel in a very fearful situation wearing mask. And so I think we will come back. It's going to take time, 6, 7, 8 months, but we'll back soon and we'll bounce back. So I think we have to be positive. So don't dishearten, don't discourage yourself. We will come back, and all of you will be, escorting your groups. And
thank you.
I just want an insight from you guys from all over the globe. What is the travel demand for India? Is there any demand, or India is still in a wish list of the people who want to travel again post COVID? Because there's a lot of changes
I don't know. I mean, we're traveling, like we work mostly with Americans and Australians, and some Indian families are also coming our way. I really don't know.
Because we are also working on a product change, because behavioral change is going to make the product change. So we are working on a sustainable and a slow kind of travel program. So I just want to understand the global need, how they look at India as a post-COVID, what kind of travel demand and itineraries are going to be in place.
Post-COVID,
so we have to be ready.
You know what, Akhilesh? I think it's too early to say how people are going to look at it. It's too early. We're like still right in the middle. So that's really hard to say about any country right now. We're just trying to get our feedback on the ground here. So thank you very, very much for your contribution. So I wanted to thank everyone. Thank you so much for connecting from around the world, really. That was amazing. And thanks for all your very, very precious input. As I mentioned, I will send you the first module, which is my very precious mindset module, which I have created for you for free tomorrow, okay, by email. If we don't have someone's email, please feel free to type it into the chat so we have it and we can send it to you. Okay, that is if someone else invited you and sent you the link to the Zoom conference rather than you going through us, then please let us know. Thanks again. Stay positive, be safe, and be awesome. And I hope to see you again at some point. And yeah.
Yeah, we will bounce back. Say before
Yes.
going.
Okay. High fives, everyone.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
A big kiss.
Ciao,
Un
ciao.
bacio.
Thank you all.
From Italy. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
From Saudi Arabia. Bye.
Bye.